Now, one person is dead after supporters of the governing NPP and opposition NDC clashed over the weekend at Nkrangkwanta in the Dormaa West District of the Bono region. Now, the deceased has been identified as Kofi Stephen. Two other people who are said to have sustained gunshot wounds are currently receiving treatment at the Dormaa Hinkro Presbyterian Hospital. The incident is said to have occurred close to the Dormaa West District office of the Electoral Commission Saturday during the mop-up voter registration exercise. It's not clear what sparked the violence, but we've been hearing from the NP from Dormaa West as well as the former NP who have been recounting what led to that incident. We'll bring you details of this, plus speak to the police and get their account as well. We'll bring you details of that later shortly, but we'll still stay on election-related matters because the EC has been talking about what has been resulting or leading to voter violence during the voter registration exercise. But the parliamentary aspirant for Dormaa West, Vincent Toponga Samoa, has denied the claims of the current NP, who is NPP, who has been alleging that NDC thugs went to the party office, their party office, creating violence. We'll be bringing you all those details shortly, but let's speak to the Adom FM correspondent in the region, Donima. He has joined us with details of what actually happened. Thank you so much. What information do you have about what exactly led to the violence?
Thank you so much. We had information last morning that there was a clash between NPP and NDC supporters at Nkrangkwanta, that is Dormaa West District capital. But when we got there, as we all can see, a pickup branded COVID-19 had been burnt and a motorbicycle belonging to the NPP. The NDC made a press conference yesterday, the NPP made a press conference yesterday claiming that the NDC barred in tax from Sankore and
apologies, we seem to have a very bad line there, but that's Adom FM's correspondent in the Bono region, Dominic Donyina, trying to give us some account or give us details of what he's picked up on what exactly caused the scuffle over the weekend leading to the death of one person. I understand he's back. Sorry, we lost you there. You were telling us what led to the violence.
Yeah, as I was saying, the NPP made a press conference about 3 weeks ago that the NDCs were busing foreigners, preferably Ivorians, to be registered, of which the NDC, the NPP resisted. So I learned the chiefs of the area met these two political parties and spoke to them to make peace for the area. The NDC also denied any knowledge of busing foreigners to the area. There was an incident where an NDC member named Efo attacked one NPP agent at one of their registration centers, and
too bad technology doesn't seem to be a friend today, and Dominic Donyina was just telling us what led to this violence. But before he gives us more details...
that man was a problem. What sparked up this clash again? When we got there, but a pickup belonging to the NPP youth organizer had been burnt, and then motorbicycle also belonging to one NPP member were also burnt. In fact, when we spoke to the NPP, they made a press conference yesterday accusing the NDC that the NDC buzzed in tax from Sankore and Kasapen in the Darfur region to attack them simply because they resisted the NDC from registering Ivorians. And that was the reason why they thought that the NDC brought in those macho men to attack them. And in the course of that, there were gunshots from security personnel, military men were there, police officers were there, fire service and other security personnel were all there. So according to them, there was a gunshot. And they alleged that one military man shot their member called Kofi Stephen, popularly known as Kofi Labette, who was shot in the waist and died shortly. Two other people also sustained gunshots. One Malam Iliasu and then Kwame Grutan, who is an NDC member. Two people were NPP supporters, and then Kwame Grutan was an NDC supporter. They are currently on admission at one is at Kankwanta Polyclinic, and then the NDC supporter is also currently in Senior Regional Hospital for treatment. But the NDC denied any knowledge of Basin tax as claimed by the NPP. But Honorable Siropans Asamoah, former MP for the area, and the PC for the NDC, however, accepted that yes, there were a clash between the two parties, and those guys who were involved were party supporters of both NDC and NPP from the area, from Kankwanta. According to him, there were no Sankore as claimed by the NDC. And then when we also asked him what he had to say about the burning of the pickup and then the motorbikes, yes, he said they were burnt, but he cannot accept it that his party supporters burnt because during the clash, anybody at all could have caused that. All right. Anybody at all, not, yeah.
Dominic, can you tell us if this event is just a one-off thing or there's been a festering problem between supporters of these two parties in the district?
Anyone who knows Nkankwanta very well will be surprised of this incident. The place is a peace-loving area, very calm area. So nobody ever thought that this could happen in the area. But because of what happened at Banda and other areas, we are not that much surprised because you know, during this time most of these things do happen.
Okay,
but we are very surprised at the degree. Yeah.
I'll have you hold on here and let me speak to the Bono Region Police PRO, Chief Inspector Augustine Kingsley Opong, for the police's side of this incident. Thank you so much for joining the program this morning, sir. Chief Inspector, what are you able to tell us? What information has police gathered on what exactly led to the violence?
Thank you, my sister, for giving me this opportunity. Greetings to all your cherished listeners. My sister, on the 8th of August, at about 5:35 p.m., some of our leaders were in front of the UC office, Kankwanta, and they were communicating with the UC officers because they were about to wrap up their duty for the day. They saw at a distance, about 500 meters away from where they were standing, that some people seemed to be fighting. So they called for the men around, if I say men, the police and the military men around, to go and find out what's happening. When they went there, they were like free to all fighting. They were fighting each other. You will not be able to denote between NPP and DC. So police tried to stop and bring peace, but nobody will listen. Due to this, some men were called to come and add to the policemen and military who were there. And, you know, when we have a situation like this, we have what we call graduation force. You start talking, and then you increase the situation as per how you repel those people who are involved in that. It led to the using of rubber bullets to disperse the people. It was after they have all run away from the place that we realized there was one guy who was lying there with people around, helped the police to take him to the hospital. And it was at Dormaa Presbyterian Hospital that the doctor declared him dead on arrival.
So he died as a result of a bullet wound from...
We are suspecting that it's a bullet wound.
From the police or from...
That will come out when we establish an investigation to find out some aspect of the things that went wrong there.
Were any of those engaged in the violence armed?
Yes. We overheard shooting, sound of weapons from those who were running away. So it means that some of them were armed.
Have you made any arrests so far?
Yes. So far we have arrested 3 persons who are assisting police for our investigation.
Are you able to...
now at Dormaa Divisional Command.
Are you able to tell us who these people you arrested were?
For now, no.
What's the current mood in the area, Chief Inspector?
There's a calm mood. I heard somebody, is it your reporter who was reporting? And I love the way he went about it, that the place is a very good place. That was where I did my national service. So I know that they are loving people. They don't like violence. But no one can understand why there are some behaviors have degenerated into this state. But notwithstanding, that is how human beings are. We are dynamic. So my sister, the place is calm. Nobody is fighting anyone.
Are your men still on the ground and the military as well?
We have even beefed up. We don't want any situation whereby laxity can lead to any mishap.
All right. Thank you very much. Chief Inspector Augustine Kingsley Opong speaks for the Bunu Region PRO. Let's now get a sense of how the NDC as a party feels about all of this. Barbara Sewa Samoa is Deputy General Secretary. Thank you for your time this morning, Madam. What's your reaction to this? Your men are involved. Some of them, we understand, injured.
Thank you very much, and good morning to your listeners. It's rather unfortunate, Dennis, that a simple registration exercise has led to the death of somebody. This is not the first time somebody has died as a result of this exercise. Someone died in Banda, Ahinkro, and then we are hearing another one, all in the Bunu region. I don't think it's a good thing at all. Unfortunately, what we are hearing is that this particular incident that led to the death of this gentleman was actually led by the NPP MP for Dormaa West. And some hoodlums who were following him, causing mayhem and intimidating people in the constituency, especially at the registration where the mop-up exercise was taking place. And this has led to the death of somebody. I don't know whether he's innocent or he was part of the whole thing.
All right. Right, Madam, we've received videos of the NPP's office in the district vandalized, and the NPP MP is also accusing your party members of attacking them without provocation. What would you say in regards to the violence meted out to the NPP and their office?
Okay, so what we have heard, or what happened there was that when the mop-up exercise started in the morning, the NPP, led by their MP and their hoodlums, besieged the Electoral Commission office where the exercise was taking place and prevented anybody who was not NPP member from going to the center to register. And this went on till 2 p.m. when the NDC alerted the police that they could not stand by and watch their people being disenfranchised. So they also decided that the police must intervene so that their people can go there and register. And so the police came to the registration center. And then I think I had some military men were also invited to the place. That was when our people even started going to the polling. That was around 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So when they got there, the MPP tax, led by their MP, prevented them from registering. And that is what led to the shooting. We don't know whether it was between the military, the police, and the MPP tax, because they were the ones who were wielding arms. Our people didn't go to the place armed. And so what we hear is that after the incident happened, the community stood up and said that enough was enough. They had gone through intimidation since the beginning of the registration. And that day was the last day of the registration. They were not going to allow the people to keep intimidating them. It wasn't the NDC. It was the whole community that stood up for their rights. And then it culminated into violence. The police came in. The MPP people started shooting indiscriminately. As you know, when I listened to the ending part of the inspector's speech, he does not even know who shot the gun that killed
they are investigating that matter, so we'd have to wait.
But they know that it was the MPP people who were using
well, he's not able to establish which side.
I'm sure if it was anybody who was known to be affiliated to the NDC, he would have known by now. And since he himself said that they don't know the person, then we will believe that what our people are telling us is the truth.
Okay, so briefly tell us what the party is doing in regards to trying to solve the problem in the district and also attend to your members who have been injured as a result.
For now, I understand one of our people was also hit by a stray bullet. He is receiving treatment at the hospital now. We have spoken to our people, and then calm has returned to the place. We expect that the police will take over, do a thorough investigation, and bring the perpetrators of this heinous acts to book. We don't like the situation where they will keep investigating and then nothing happens, and then the people are emboldened to continue acting. We as a political party are going to put together all of these incidents, and we are going to follow up to make sure that whoever created the problem is brought to book by the police.
Are you looking at probably putting in mechanisms within your party on how some of these matters at the district level are reported and amplified to the national level, so your members at the grassroots do not resort to violence when they have issues like this?
Most definitely. We have always spoken to our people to always remain calm, because these are armed attacks and we cannot arm our people. And so we have always spoken to them to remain calm. The national executive will take it up. Yeah, like I said, we are compiling all the cases of shooting and whatever that has taken place in all the various polling stations, registration centers, and we are going to make sure that we collaborate with the security agencies so that they will take up the issue and do their work. Once the people are assured that the security agencies will bring the perpetrators to book, I am sure that they will not take the law into their own hands.
Thank you very much for your time. Barbara Samuel is Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, telling us a bit on what the party as a whole feels about the incident at Dormaa West over the weekend. And the MP for the area, Aliu Maiga Alidu, joins us via phone. Thank you for your time. You've been accused of leading thugs to perpetrate this violence. What's your reaction, sir?
Good morning, my sister.
Good morning.
Good morning to your cherished viewers and listeners. Barbara, it's not true. We don't have thugs in Dormaa West, and we don't have any causing mayhem in Dormaa West. But let me give you the gist of the issue. The whole issue has to do with the foreigners coming to Ghana to register. In Dormaa West, we have Ivorians who travel all the way from Cote d'Ivoire to register, and we have the target towns are Apaku Chrome, Chrome, Nkran Kwanta, Yaosu Chrome, and Diaba. These are border towns that the Ivorians come. So when we are about doing the registration, we already checked the old voter register. Then we realized that, and we had about 3,000 votes in Cote d'Ivoire, and our intelligence, 2,000 people that registered are from Cote d'Ivoire. Then our intelligence also showed that NDC has bought about 10 motorbikes with this motorcade, that small motorcade into Cote d'Ivoire to back them. So as a party, we mapped up a strategy. We mapped up a strategy, and our strategy was simple. We were doing 10 registration at a time. So what we were doing is that our border towns, as for them, they interact with the Ivorians, so they know them. So we do 10 from all the border towns. And when they go, one each from each of the border towns, they sit about 100 yards away. And their rule is simple. Once the Ivorian guy comes, you identify him as an Ivorian from the area. Either we alert the immigration officers to take them because border is closed, or we prompt our agent to challenge them. So this is the exercise that we've been doing for the whole period. Then at the mop-up, our intelligence was that NDC think that it's one polling station, so one registration center. So they will bring them. But when they come and they think that they are from any part of the town, our agent they won't know. So you put these boys in an uncompleted assembly building. And there was simple. Once we see that avoiding from the area going to the registration center, just call our agent there, give him the description, the set description, so that we can be duly challenged. And this is that we were doing. You know what happened? We were there when we heard that the NDC has brought tax from Kasapé, Sankore to come and attack our boys. I personally went there to where our boys are to tell them that we are not here to attack anybody. What we are here to do, we just do the identification. Then police brought reinforcement, soldier reinforcement from the division. Then I told them, there is police reinforcement, division enforcement, so please be calm. Nobody will attack you. And I left for a funeral. So I was there when my youth organizer, my research officer called me that this is going to happen. So when I came, the narration was that the research officer was going to town to buy food. Then one NDC guy he knows stopped him. So he stopped on his motorbike. Then the tax they brought from Sankore attacked one of the research officer. And then the research officer went to report. So when he reported to our boys that he had been attacked, my driver stepped forward because I've taxed my driver, the guy who died, and what is his name? One guy called Umbo, and the youth organizer to control the boys. So don't want them to move out. Once they move out and Ivorian comes, we can identify the person. So we give them food, everything in there. So my driver crossed the road and told the master, look, don't do this. This is what you do, and you bring chaos. This is what will happen. So as my organizer, my driver was there, they started shooting catapults at him. So our boys came, rescued my boy, and wanted to have a clash with the NDC guys. When these guys ran away, so unfortunately they caught one and they attacked him. So when they caught, they attacked him. The other NDC guys ran away. Then the security stepped forward, and from the one to the man said, "In P, to wait. You've seen that you've killed him."
So, Ms. Alidu, were you or any of your men armed?
No. If both NDC and MPP, the arm each of them may have is just a catapult.
Okay.
No, catapult. Yes, catapult.
A catapult.
They were shooting catapults.
Okay.
No, but that was so the security they had shot at our boys.
Okay.
So every single shot you see was from the security guys. In fact, when I made the dissect and I made the security, I made them aware that we know them. We've identified them. In fact, the regional commander was here the night the incident happened, and we identified one soldier, and they know them. In fact, the division commander knows the police. We've identified the police guy.
Fine. Let me just ask you briefly. Was this a warning shot or was a shot aimed at the person?
No. They shot at the boys. That's why one of our guys died. He died of gun wounds. One is at the hospital right now as we speak. So the security shot at our boys.
All right.
Our boys directly. I'm coming. You know what makes it so sad is that so the man asked my youth organizer to go away. So he sat in his car. Then the policeman shot at the tires of the car, deflated the tires. My youth organizer got out of his car, gave his car key to one inspector called Ativo that they've demobilized my car. So take the keys In the presence of the security, NDC guys came out from the bush, burned one of the cars, burned one motor. The security destroyed all other motors, amounting to about 20.
So if I get you right, this would not have reached this point but for the way the security personnel handled it.
Exactly. And I've made this point clear to any security guy who have been in meeting with the DASEC, the regional police commander, the regional army commander. I've told the divisional commander, everybody, that if the security has been modest, this wouldn't have happened. In fact, they even chased my boys into the bush and they followed them up in the bush with their guns. And we have evidence and everything.
All right.
So you can't deny.
All right. Thank you very much.
What NDC tax did was to slap our research officer, burn our car, burn our motorbike in the presence of security, then walked about 400 meters to our party office in the presence of the security to vandalize our office. This is what we attribute to the NDC. As for any shooting that occurred in the security, who did it?
Ms. Haliju,
they shot at MPP, our men, but not NDC.
But we know of some NDC persons who've also sustained gunshot wounds. But thank you for your time this morning.
Well, it's not true. No NDC person has sustained gun injury. Two people sustained gun injury. They are all MPP. One is dead.
Okay.
All right. Make it clear.
Well, our correspondent says otherwise. But thank you for your time. Aliu Maiga Alidu is MP for Dormaa West, sharing his side of the story there, squarely laying the blame at the foot of security officials there. Now, the National Youth Organizer of the NDC, George Opariado, says